Welcome back. This is video number 2, coronary catheters 3D RC. We will discuss catheter design, manipulation, and support. Regarding the design, 3D RC catheter or modified William catheter in some countries has 3 dimensions. The first one is the basic one from the hub of the catheter. The second after a posterior shift of the catheter shaft. The third one is after an anterior and right shift of the tip in an acute 90 degrees angulation. That is why there is some sort of support or pillow to preserve these dimensions, especially the second one. In other posterior oriented catheters, we may not have the distal dimension. I consider it 2D RC William catheter. So I prefer the term posterior oriented catheters to both these types. As Judkin right catheter, it has 3 curves. The tertiary curve is between the first and second dimension. The secondary curve is at the peak of the second dimension posteriorly, and the primary curve is between the second and third dimension. The distal dimension 90-degree angle of the tip will preserve the coaxiality of the catheter with the RCA, which is always directed anterior and to the right, whatever its origin. This is not preserved with William catheter. This 3-dimension design allows for a wide range of movement of the catheter from the normal lateral origin of the RCA to the posterior origin from the right coronary sinus. This is the orientation of the catheter before and after clockwise rotation as if it is in the ascending aorta. In this figure, we can see that both 3D RC and 2D RC primary curve are posteriorly directed after rotation relatively to the Judkin right. After the rotation, the axis between the primary curve and the tip relation to the posteriorly originated RCA is different. Judkin right tip is away, 2D RC is closer, 3D RC is closer and coaxial. This design is according to Cordis. Other name is William 3D, only one standard size, the length between the primary and the secondary curve. There is no space for rotation. If there is a change in size, the catheter tip will be either near to the lateral origin of the RCA or more posteriorly located. In either case, it will not allow engagement of the posterior RCA origin. Regarding manipulation, it is the same as Judkin right catheter with few differences. Because of the angulation of the primary curve, the tip has tendency to be directed anterior and to the right before rotation. In the lateral view before rotation, with Judkin right catheter, the tip is directed posteriorly, while with the 3D RC catheter, it is directed near to anterior. Since the tip is already anteriorly directed and towards the RCA, usually there is minimal rotation needed to engage it. As said before in the previous video, with more rotation, there is more eccentric orientation followed by more elongation and downward direction of the tip. Since there is minimal rotation needed to engage RCA, the tip has a more superior orientation tendency if compared with Judkin right catheter. Since it is a posterior oriented catheter and with the rotation it is more eccentric, it will never reach the anterior origin RCA. Regarding the support of the catheter, it is of weak support since it doesn't lie on aortic valve cusp or opposite aortic wall, and these several curves doesn't allow optimal deep active support in the RCA. And this is the end of the video. Thank you for your attention and waiting for your feedback.